Israel is not innocent, in my opinion, completely. Palestine is not. No one's innocent. You cannot just simply say they're right, they're right, or they're wrong, or they're wrong. There's more to it here. And so I just feel like that's what's happening is people are doing what they've been doing recently is let's jump on one side or the other. You see these drones coming in from afar.
Uh-huh.
It's very eerie because you know that what's about to happen. And they're like, it looks like little Star Wars things. I mean, they're little pods and they're flying them and they're in them and they have got their guns with them and they come in and just slaughter everybody.
That Palestine would be ready for war when Hamas made this move. It's a shitty situation.
And Israel responded like everybody knew they would, and they're just blasting away and they're trying to claim they're hitting Hamas only, but we all know that's probably not true. Welcome to Stay in the Gray podcast. We explore news that gets people talking by blending comedy and controversy.
Brutal banner, fierce word, shadow streets unheard.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Trey. Together we dive into tough topics with a combination of humor and some insight.
So join us as we navigate the gray areas of the world and engaging in real conversation.
Come get to know us.
And I thought about, and Trey and I have talked about how we want to introduce this to the show. We have to do it because it's out there right now. It's
way out there.
It's way out there, and it's the most, talked about thing probably in the last couple of weeks since it happened, and it's I'm not going to do this whole setup thing. Fuck it. It's just it's Israel and Palestine and Hamas, the extremist group of Palestinians, and it's just crazy, and it's something that's been going on for a long time. So I'll start with that. It's not something that is. There's nothing simple about it. It didn't just happen yesterday. I'll admit that right off the bat. So what do we do in this show? We stay in the middle. We stay gray. I'm always willing to listen. There's a young lady. She knows who she is. Hopefully she's listening still. Who I've talked with recently. Who's very upset. And she's Palestinian. And I'm trying to learn from her a little bit and listen. I might not agree with everything based on... she can't expect... In all fairness, she can't expect to tell me something and me go, oh yeah, everything I've ever read or researched, my credibility is all gone. And that's difficult for somebody to do. It might make me go, oh wow, let me look more into that. Or I can see here maybe I'm not as strong on this position as I am on another position or something like that. But anyway, so I want to start out by saying I'm not. It's not simple. This friction, for lack of a better word, has been since the end of World War II, Trey. The end of World War II, and a couple of years later, basically, long story short, land was distributed, given to the Jews because they haven't been treated very well in the existence of their humanity as well.
Right.
I mean, everyone forgets that the Jews are probably the most chastised group. Again, the Palestinians will freak out when I say something like that, but come on. It's even today you've got anti-Semitism all over the place. So don't come at me. And I'm not saying that Arab countries haven't and Muslims haven't gone through similar stuff. But you can't deny that the Jews have. And so once it was redistributed, and again, Trey and I are doing our best here. We're not specialists. We're definitely not World War II guys, as we learned
at all.
And I've done enough, and I know enough to talk about it in a broad way, with a willingness to continue to learn. And I think you're the same way. And I think that that's the difference. And so, long story short. Or already long, so long, I'm going to cut the long story to make it short, is this friction's there. Israel has been supported by the United States and countries like Great Britain. I learned that Great Britain actually had control of that land for a while, and so everything was peaceful. And then when they left, it was like then the Jews stayed, and they were like, well, it's ours, and then the Palestinians were like, I don't think so, and it became a big thing. And,
yeah.
And again, I'm making I'm making it very simplistic, and there's a lot more to it, and a lot of it comes in a battle over Jerusalem and whose capital that is, and things like that I've really learned and kind of dove into a little bit. It's really, it's interesting. Humanity as a whole is interesting. And so what happened was, and I know you came in and you knew more about the actual incident that this extremist group Hamas believes that there is no negotiation with Israel. There is no nothing, that their land is their land. The people that left pre-1967 or pre-whatever, whenever the land was whatever, they need their land back, their homes back. They are basically fuck Israel and everything about it, and they're out.
So were they cool when it was British led, or they just didn't have a?
And that's
they just didn't have a choice.
These are the types of things I'm not going to admit to knowing. I think at the time it was relatively peaceful, and so now that it's become, ever since that they left, it became more violent, and the claim is that from the Palestinian side is that Israel's been committing slow genocide on their own people, and that they've been treating them as badly, if not worse, than what this recent attack that I'll let you explain was. And that's the argument. And so from one side, and I'll let you go, because I'm trying to set this up. From one side, we've grown up thinking, okay, Israel, Jewish, poor Jews, and I'm being blunt here, so forgive me if anybody's offended by how blunt I am. The poor Jews, Israel, U.S. supports them mostly because we're responsible for where they are right now, in a way.
Yeah.
So we back them financially. We back them with military equipment and weapons and things like that, because we support the Jews and we support Israel. That's just the way it's been. So Palestinians don't like that, obviously. They're like, well, fuck you. Like, why are you supporting them? And so it's been ongoing for a long time. This isn't just something that's simple. Israel is not innocent, in my opinion, completely. Palestine is not. No one's innocent. But I'll say it again, and then I'll let you go. I promise. Since the beginning of mankind, or womankind, whatever person kind, or whatever I'm supposed to say these
humanity,
ever since the beginning of humanity, this is what happens.
Yeah.
Men and women divide and conquer and claim, and this is just what's gone on. If they think they're the only people that have had conflict over land, then fuck them, because that's just not the case. We're reminded every day in this country about how we stole it and blah, blah, blah. And again, I don't mean to wrong. That's a whole nother topic. I'm just saying it's something that, and there go the Native American listeners. But no, I love you, Native Americans, and we'll talk about it at some point. But it's something that is not, you cannot just simply say they're right or they're right, or they're wrong or they're wrong. There's more to it here, and so I just feel like that's what's happening is people are doing what they've been doing recently is let's jump on one side or the other. And so tell me about, and tell listeners that don't know, or ones that do, your version of what happened, because it is this group Hamas, the Palestinian group, basically attacked Israelis.
Well, honestly, I've been under a rock when it comes to this stuff. And I mean, you see it on the news, you see articles pop up and stuff like that, but I really didn't look into it or pay attention to it because it's over there.
You mean over the years, like growing up? And
sure.
Yeah.
Or even recently. But yeah, I saw this video on Instagram, thought I'd take a peek at it, and it's basically a reporter talking about this supernova festival that they have. Mm-hmm. And I guess they have them in different countries and this, that, and the other, but this one was in Israel on October 7th. And they said this what's the name of the group again? I'm sorry. Hamas. They said this Hamas group targeted this festival. This festival was not just Israelis. It was people from all over the country that came just to party and hang out. And it was peace, love, and all that wonderful stuff.
Yeah, I think we were about to go.
Yeah. So, come to find out, this was actually a target of Hamas. Mm-hmm. And to the basically the point that they blocked off the exits as people were driving out, they were just picking them off, shooting them as they were coming out.
They were familiar, and
It was a plan,
a strategy.
So they said some people were pulled off into, was it the Gaza Strip? Obviously raped, tortured. So, I mean, it's just, I don't see how this was justified. And again, like you said, we don't know enough about it, but I can understand if there's ways that they want to get their land back and stuff like that. There's got to be a better way than just killing. I mean, basically massacring these innocent people that were just there for a festival. What?
Right.
How does? I guess there's no rules in war, but was this necessary to, I guess, prove a point? I don't know what they were trying to do with that, except for just cause chaos, which they have.
Well, the response to that, and I think, and I can almost hear that acquaintance of mine that I know that's Palestinian, I can just, feel for her in this. The response to that is that what they're saying, and again, I'm going to claim my ignorance on the topic. I'm not Israeli. I'm not Jewish or Palestinian. What the Palestinians are claiming is that Israel's been doing the same thing, if not worse, for years and years and years and years. My response, of course, is, well, that doesn't mean that this should be forgivable. Oh, well, you did it, so we can do it. I mean, if it is war, it's war, fine. But if it's war and Israel just absolutely slaughters everybody, it's war. You know what I mean? Now that it's been, if it's actually war and you want to say, you know what, because that's the only way it's justified, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is if the two are literally at war, which some will say they are and some will say they aren't and whatever. But if they're literally at war, then nothing, I mean, nothing, no holds barred, right? I mean, you go and you take care of what you have to take care of. And this was, from what I'm aware of, unprovoked this time. It wasn't like some incident happened and then they responded. This was, the initial response was what you're talking about, this attack.
Right.
And, you're seeing videos of them burning babies and dragging women and raping women, and undeniable too. This isn't like this is, whatever. This is dates and times and this and that, and fact check all you want. I mean, this is what I've looked at and seen. Not just the first video that popped up. I mean, I've looked into it, and it's happened. Again, the response is, well, they've been doing that to us. Okay, so what do you think about that? Is it justified because of years and years and years and years? This person got really upset when I brought up Hamas first, without acknowledging Palestine and what they've dealt with. My response was, well, this just happened, and it happened to be Hamas. I didn't think about it that way, and whether I should have to or not is maybe something she and I should talk about. But I just feel like I sympathize with any innocent people, women, children, whatever, men too. They can be innocent, and if it's indeed has been going on, and people are suffering at the hands of Israelis, I'm not on board with that.
Right.
I'm not pro-Israel no matter what. That's why all these Trump people, no matter what Donald does, you're pro-Trump. You must be. Same thing with the other side. I mean, it's just like so stupid. You don't have to be. You can support Israel, which I do. I support Jewish people, what they've dealt with. But that doesn't mean they're infallible. It doesn't mean that they can do no wrong. And so I want to know, if they've done this, show me. Like, why? I mean, I haven't seen these types of videos. But when it comes to Israeli...
Right.
And then, again, the response I got was, well, the United States supports Israel, so they're not going to show it to you. Oh, come on. Worldwide social media.
It'll happen. It'll get out. Yeah.
We would have seen, and I'm sure you can find it. I'm sure we can go find it. I'm sure it's out there. But this happened, and it was like blown up. Go ahead.
And this Hamas group, are they doing this with the backing of the Palestinian government, or...
That's a great question. My answer is I don't think so, but I also don't claim to know that 100%, because I think this is a separate incident, which is why this Palestinian acquaintance got so upset when I brought up Hamas right away. It was kind of like, look, that's not us. But there are people that have, I don't know how to say it right, that are in Hamas or part of Hamas that have beliefs, their belief structure is correct, but their process is wrong. So there's nothing wrong with, in other words, there's nothing wrong with the belief that these lands were ours, these lands should go back to us, fuck Israel, whatever. But carrying it out this way, my understanding is that not all of the Hamas believers support the extremism, the violence.
And
and that's where I don't know enough. And
this person that's Palestine.
Yeah, and I really want to get her on. She's not local, so we gotta get her on. But anyway,
so I'm just curious. Also, does she have family there? Because obviously the actions of this group, that maybe all of Palestine doesn't approve of, is now forcing all of Palestine to now fight.
Right.
And
I'm sure it's. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
so how does she feel about that? As far as I get it, they may have had issues with Israel, but is she in support of this group handling it this way?
True. I mean, it's not just Hamas that has issues. Hamas just happens to be the one that acted out.
They said, "Fuck it, let's go."
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like. I mean, I'm not even gonna try to compare it to some of the other extremist groups in the Middle East that we've dealt with. But they've been in locations that the civilians and citizens have suffered because of their actions.
Gotcha.
And there's no way to. We talked a little bit about with Chris with Japan. There wasn't a way to get to only the people responsible. You have to unfortunately go through others.
Yeah.
And that's why I hope that she'll come on and talk, because I want to learn her. She does say that I can't remember if it was her or just her family, but she said her family. And maybe they've dealt with some of the brutality, and I think that's why obviously it hits home. If Israelis, and she experienced that kind of treatment from Israel with her and her family, then of course she's gonna, I don't, and again, I'm not being in that situation. It's not like you've had Dallas and Fort Worth, Dallas and Houston bombing each other
right.
over. College Station in the middle of them at all. And so we don't know what it's like to kind of be in that situation, but at the same time I'm having a hard time justifying what just happened, where babies burned, women dragged,
right.
This whole
raped and
attack.
Everything. Yes, that's horrible.
Regardless of anything, come at us and say, guess what, Israel is. And again, they'll claim that they've been doing that, but I haven't heard it. No. So be more, keep it up. I mean, I think that's the only option, unless this person can tell me what another option would be to get through to me, besides listening to somebody like her and then making my own assessment. Anyway,
and I know they've been fighting for a long time. Is there a proper way to declare war? I don't know, except for something extreme like this, an extreme action.
Like I said, back in I don't think there's been an official war declared. I think it's just been this way. I think
just fighting.
There's bombs here and there, and every once in a while, and it just kind of, if anything, if you want to define it, I think they've been at war since maybe the Brits left the location.
Well, they even mentioned in this video that during this festival that you can see bombs going through the air and stuff like that. But they were like, they're used to that in that area. And I was like, I can't imagine having to live in that type of environment. That's
that
crazy.
Gaza
to me.
Strip is where it's crazy, and Israel controls it now, and Palestinians live there, and then Palestinians claiming they're being killed off, genocide. And Israel's claiming, no, we're just keeping order, and that's my understanding. But there are also videos, to what you were saying, there are videos they show this festival of people dancing and having a good time, and in the background, you see these drones coming in from afar.
Uh-huh.
It's very eerie because you know that what's about to happen. And they're like, it looks like little Star Wars things. I mean, they're little pods, and they're flying them, and they're in them, and they have got their guns with them, and they come in and just slaughter everybody. And I don't promote slaughtering everybody in any sense of, I say that. If somebody came at my family or hit the United States again, I mean, I think when 9/11 happened, I was probably admittedly one of the people that was like, yeah, let's go get those, assholes.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're Palestinian and you've been hit by Israel over and over and over again, you're probably like, yay, Hamas.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. But if you're from Israel and you're Jewish, you're going, wow, look what they just did. Fuck that. So it's like a circle, this vicious cycle
Yeah.
of like.
But you would also hope that that Palestine would be ready for war when Hamas made this move. It's like, I hope Hamas didn't make this move.
Yeah, they're like, wait.
Obviously, they're not ready for
They did
it.
what? They're eating dinner. They're like, wait a second.
So
Yeah. So well,
it's a shitty situation.
and Israel responded like everybody knew they would, and they're blasting away, and they're trying to claim they're hitting Hamas only, but we all know that's probably not true.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm going to look more into it. And the reason I set it up is because we need to talk about it because it's there and we can't ignore it. Trey and I do our best with serious topics and with things that are out in the world that need to be, we talk about orcas and we
Way
talk
too
about underwater. No, I'm kidding. We talk about, we talked about the submarine that disappeared. We talked about these current events that happen in our world surrounding us need to be discussed. And I'm hoping that the people that listen to our show aren't the ones how about this, Trey? I can guarantee they aren't the ones who are like nose deep in the books trying to figure out every little detail.
Right.
They're people that don't have time. They're people that have kids, they have jobs, they have whatever, and they want to go and listen to some people talk about the issue and go, hey, he made a good point. He admits he doesn't know everything, but hey, I'm going to look more into this part of it or
Right.
this part of it. And that's what I'm hoping that we do. And I'm really hoping that with this issue, I can get this young lady on. And maybe she'll tell me that I said some things in this segment that she didn't like. I'm hoping that she does. She did tell me, Trey, she said, I'll come on your show, but I'm not going to hold back.
Cool.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the way we like it. So hopefully she's doing okay. I know she's been through a lot emotionally. And hopefully we talk to her soon. Is there anything you want to add to that? Again, it was just a setup to say we are aware, we know what's going on. We're going to keep studying it, and we'll bring it up every once in a while as it keeps going. Because guess what? This thing isn't ending for a while at least, and hopefully we can have somebody from both sides. I mean, I'd love to have any Jewish friends that we have or Israeli friends that we have that come on and give their perspective. I probably won't have them on at the same time as
Right.
the young lady from Palestine.
You just hope for a peaceful solution, whatever.
Yeah,
it is,
but it just hasn't happened, and
Right.
that's the point, and that's what both sides will tell you.
And what is a peaceful solution
Right.
for them?
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, they're unwilling to just say divide the land and whatever. There's too much history.
Right.
So I think we'll move on, but I just wanted to kind of set that up and lay that foundation to let people know that we are aware that something did happen over there. Trey and I are not just all about orcas and anal cream.
Or are we?
We try. When this happened, we were like, "Oh shit, we have to actually
Damn it.
research." So we'll move on from that, but we'll get to that at some point in more detail. Cool.
I like it.
All right, let's go and do. I'm excited because it's been a while. We had Ryan, the entrepreneur, who downed our ideas like it was just.
Yeah, I'm a little
He,
disappointed
I
about
think
that.
not only did he say no, he laughed,
I mean, I had to take my boat back and everything.
and then he told you to do something else. It was
Yeah.
like, no, that idea sucks, but you could do this.
Yeah.
It was almost like anyway. And then we had Chris on, and we all know,
Yeah.
we got real into World War II there. So we haven't had an opportunity to do this, and right after we got started in it,
Yeah.
which is the states.
One thing each state is worst at.
Yes, I love this one's
Yeah.
this one's fun. So we're gonna go. We left off. We did the first 5. We're gonna do the next 5,
Next 5,
and the first 5 left off at what?
California.
Oh, and they were the They were the most polluted.
Most polluted cities, yeah.
Oh, California, get your shit together.
Right?
So the next state, if I do my alphabet right, would be
Colorado.
Colorado. That's what I was gonna say.
Do you have any guesses about Colorado?
Marijuana.
It has something to do with their powder.
They're powder,
Yeah.
like snow.
Like snow.
Well, I skied there. I've been skiing my whole life
Yeah.
in Colorado. What's up?
It's a different type of powder. They have the
Cocaine?
greatest cocaine use.
Really?
Yeah,
I've always thought of them as just the pot smokers.
Yeah.
You're telling me that Colorado
enjoy
is
their
the cocaine capital? Okay.
Yeah. It says, if you find yourself in Colorado attending somebody's party and people are talking about fresh cut powder,
It's not the ski sleds.
don't assume the discussion is anything about skiing conditions.
I would be like, oh yeah, tomorrow morning, and they're like, really, in morning time?
That's weird.
Well, good for Colorado, I guess. They're partying. They do their thing up there in the mountains. They just kind of like, they're just not worried about anything. Good for them.
Sniff some powder, go ski on some powder. Anyway.
That's why there's so many people that hit trees and shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Do you know the next one?
Colorado are we going to, we're D's, right? Delaware?
Or Connecticut. You were close.
I forgot about those guys. Connecticut.
Got any, this one's kind of boring, but
Yeah.
any thoughts about Connecticut?
If you said which state is boring, they're one of them. And I've heard it's lovely. Don't get me wrong. I've heard it's beautiful, Northeast and New England, whatever. They're one of the first states. But I have no idea.
Most unequal incomes.
Oh, so they're saying they're the disparage, is that the right word? Disparagement?
It says it has
Between the wealthy and the poor?
There you go. It says Connecticut has the highest rate of school enrollment.
Say the state again.
Connecticut.
I thought you said Connecticut.
Connecticut has the highest rate of school enrollment and the highest per capita income in the nation. But the top 1% in the state earn 41 times what everyone else makes.
Oh, man. So they have a lot of wealthy people, but it's like the people below that are making a lot
Super
less.
poor.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I would not have known that. Oh, well, Connecticut.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, figure it out. But I mean, you know what? Capitalism, whatever.
Let's see.
Next would be Delaware.
There you go.
Okay.
What's your get? Do you have a guess on Delaware?
No, it's the first official state, so I can't imagine it has anything to do with that if it's the worst.
Kind of boring here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Least regular exercise.
Are they saying they're the fattest, or are they just saying they don't
It
exercise?
says a Gallup poll says less than half of people in Delaware exercise regularly, and that's for 30 minutes a day, 3 times a week is their standard.
That's not that bad.
So, yeah, that was dumb. Anyway.
No, I mean, it's not dumb. We just need to know. Delaware, start working out. Maybe we should open a gym there.
We could be stud athletes there, or a Dunkin' Donuts.
That's the smarter option.
There we go.
Or both, right next to each other. We'll get all the people.
Next one is my favorite state. Hold on.
Delaware, I'm going to go with...
So we've done Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware. So this is
we
number
have 2
4.
more. What's after Delaware? Is there any more D's? I don't think there's another D.
No.
F?
A, B, C, D, E. Is there E's?
No.
No.
F?
My favorite
Florida.
state.
Here
Yeah,
we go. All right, Florida. Here it is.
This one, do you have any guesses on this one?
Hell no. It could be anything. Gators or...
Yeah. Most recreational boat accidents.
Well, I'm not disappointed with that one, but I am. It's sort of like... Because... Okay, I've been to Florida on boats quite a bit, and I've been both sides of it and around and all that. And they have this channel system that goes through on the east side, and it's like these canals. It looks like Venice, Italy, but it goes for like a long way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're talking about that, because I could see in the evening time, I mean, you can pull up your boat to like a restaurant in these canals. It's pretty cool. I mean, it actually is kind of cool, but I can also see a bunch of people getting fucked up and getting in their boats
doing some dumb
and
shit.
causing some problems and then getting out on the other side outside the coastline as well. It doesn't surprise me. That didn't surprise me at all. I wish there were some stories attached to that.
It says that it boasts the highest number with regards to boat accidents and fatalities. It says studies do show that Floridians operate their boats at least as well as highly caffeinated primates. So there's that.
Did they take a shot at us right there?
Maybe. I do like my caffeine.
I know. Well, you take a pill, right?
And pre-workout.
Oh, I like my coffee, so we got it covered. You and your fucking pre-workout.
Oh my gosh.
Florida, F. There's no more Fs, right?
E, F, G.
G would be Georgia.
There you go.
Man, I'm good at this.
You're good. You're good at your alphabet and your states.
I know what comes after F.
Let me give you a sticker on your report card. You got any suggestions?
Georgia peaches. No, I don't know. Go ahead.
Least integrity.
Oh, wow. We hit Georgia hard.
Yeah, it says politicians in Georgia are the least ethical,
According to what, though?
with about 658 state workers accepting gratuities during a 2-year period.
Oh, that's how.
There you go.
You answered my question.
State legislators were not available for a word without an offer of sporting event tickets or honey baked hams.
Hockey baked hams. But it seems like they're talking about the government here versus like the people of Georgia.
And they're only saying in a 2-year period. Which 2 years was that? Was that recently?
Yeah.
Was that?
I don't know. I'm willing to give Georgia another shot.
Really?
Are you? Well, no.
I do like the Bulldogs. I mean,
You
as
do?
far as
Okay.
the animal, not the team.
Oh. Okay. Well, that was boring. Let's go. Was that 5?
That was 5. We knocked out 5 real quick.
Okay. All right. Maybe some of these other states will but
We haven't got to Texas yet.
no, we got a few more shows for that. But those are fun. To me, they're fun even if they're boring because it's kind of like Connecticut. I didn't know that, and now I know that. Delaware.
We're in Delaware.
Get on the treadmill.
Yeah.
Like it's not that hard. But
Walk to
would've-
Dunkin's instead of driving.
Right. I would. Yeah. I never would have thought that if you said which state, what would you say? Which state does the least exercise? You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have thought Delaware. I don't think
Maybe
Delaware.
Arizona.
I don't know.
I mean, I would even say Florida because that's where a lot of people go to retire.
Yeah.
Arizona
Or hot places because you don't go outside.
Yeah. Vegas.
But Delaware's not that hot.
No.
So anyway, that's my point is that I never would have known that.
It's just boring.
Florida, I would have guessed the boat thing because everyone's just crazy.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of waterways.
I thought they would have had a cocaine
swamps,
issue
and
though too, for real.
They probably do. It's not what they're worst at.
Maybe
They're worse at the boats.
they're best at selling it, not using it.
Their second worst thing is the cocaine.
There you go.
Yeah. But same with Colorado. I thought Colorado was all marijuana all the time, and you're
Right.
telling me that now there's cocaine going
Yeah.
on.
Or even skiing accidents maybe in Colorado.
So
I guess not.
So this has become more about the knowledge we're giving you rather than entertainment.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Let's do self-awareness real fast. You said you had one. So let's
I do
roll.
have one.
Let's roll. Fuck everybody.
These kids on these scooters are going crazy right now.
Which scooters?
Just these electric scooters.
Oh, not the ones where you push with
Oh,
your...
no, hell no. They're too fucking lazy for that. But I literally pull out of my apartment complex and I have to watch as these kids just flying around. And I'm in a truck now. And so I don't want to hit these kids. But come on. Don't drive right down the
you
fucking
do.
middle of the street. Okay? They're trying to kind of miss the speed bumps. Obviously, I get it. But come on. Stay on a sidewalk. I mean, there's sidewalks everywhere. Get off the street. I mean, literally, I almost hit one today. And I barely could see the top of his head in my truck. So I'm like, come on.
Is that his fault or is that your fault for having a stupid large truck?
I don't know. But I mean, if you're in the middle of the street, come on. Like,
Are you willing to take both 50-50 responsibility? No. I'm
well, and so down at the end of my apartment complex, there's a school zone and stuff. So kids are getting out of school. And so as I'm driving out, 2 girls on one literally drove by and they look at me and they're like, and I see her say to the other one, "Who cares?" And just keeps going.
Nuh-uh.
I'm like,
You
yes.
saw it?
I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Come on, you know.
I'm laughing, but I would have been so pissed.
And of course, my what's it called? Aggressive ass. I stare at her like,
yeah.
you know. But she don't
big,
give a shit.
You're big behind the wheel.
Oh, yeah.
The wheel.
If she'd have turned around and did something, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm just.
Oh no, I wasn't. I was talking to her over there.
That's passive aggressive ass. That's what I was trying to say. My passive aggressive ass gave her a stare down, like I was going to do something.
So it's just in general. Is it just what parking lots? Just anywhere?
It's happening more frequently in the
I'm not
parking
seeing
area.
them
No,
as much as you are.
maybe it's just in my apartment complex. So there's a Whataburger right there. So I always see kids coming through out of the Whataburger.
Do you
coming
blame
from the
them?
school? No, not at all. I love the Whataburger.
I want
but,
Whataburger.
you know, just don't right down the middle. You know, and they're flying too. It's not like they're kind of cruising just to make sure. They are flying.
But they're flying enough. Flying on a scooter is still not enough to outdo a car. Or a
Right,
truck.
right. So
Okay. So you want the kids to be more aware, or whoever's on a scooter.
That those
are there
scooters
any
are not
like
gonna fight?
Are there any like 30-year-old dudes that
I haven't seen one yet.
They're just like,
That would be
hell
funny.
yeah, dude.
That would be funny.
On like a pink scooter.
Right. I would want to do that. But
Well, I think
I'm staying on the side.
I think the scooters would be a blast.
I think so too.
But okay. I was just gonna
ahead.
say, so they're in the middle. So you want them to be on the side.
Yeah, and it's not just one or two. It's like all of them. The whole gang of friends. We're going to ride our scooters right down the middle of the fucking... And when did it become acceptable to always wear pajamas everywhere? I'm seeing
Ooh,
pajamas
that's a completely.
at a fucking gym. These kids wearing these pajamas.
We went from great segues to absolutely no segue right there. I love it.
Pajamas and Crocs. When did that become a thing? Like,
I'm gonna ask my wife because she knows the trends, and although she's not a pajamas and Crocs person, so
No.
maybe that's a young person
Maybe.
thing. You're seeing more of that.
I'm seeing more of that too. Riding around their scooters, pajamas and Crocs.
You know what I think, and this comes from absolutely nothing other than just me in the last couple of years. COVID. I think during COVID, everybody just became, we're home, we're going to wear pajamas all the time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, then you're released from your imprisonment, and everyone just said, hey, this is kind of comfy. Let's just wear these. And
Wait, I was walking around naked. So does that mean I can just ride my scooter naked now?
I think that most of our listeners would support that.
As long as I wear Crocs.
On your bike?
I want everybody to see how well that anal
Would
bleach
that
is
hurt?
working.
Would that hurt your area if you were on your bike without
I'm talking
any
about the
support?
scooter. I want to do the scooter.
Oh, scooter naked.
Scooter naked.
If any of you see two men with Crocs naked on a scooter, but I have to wear a helmet, so I'll have a helmet as well.
Oh, absolutely.
And then
Butt naked in helmet.
come and say
Crocs.
hi and
Yeah.
get a selfie with us because you know it's us.
It is us. Don't call the cops.
Yeah, no, it's just us. We're
Just
good.
us. We're
There's
cool.
there's
It's
absolutely nothing to
cool.
worry
It's
about.
just a bit. It's funny.
Yeah, Wait, a bit. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so for you, it's scooters in the middle of the road and pajamas and Crocs.
Yes.
Okay, mine, and I may have said this one before. I don't remember, but I'm going to say it again, and it's stupid and it's petty and people. But it may be one of the ones that gets me the most, especially as like a English major and a guy with a master's in writing.
I'm scared I do this now.
I don't think that you do. I would notice that I probably would have thrown something at you. Don't say the word literally.
Oh, okay. I've done this before. Yeah.
And I'm sure, yeah. And I'll admit that maybe over the years I have once or twice, and I was trying to catch myself. Don't say it because look up the definition. And I guess maybe if I was more of a professional show, I'd have the definitions right in front of us. But I don't. But everybody knows what that word means. If
Literally.
you don't,
literally know.
Yeah, literally. I literally know what that word means. And if you don't, then what, Trey? Go look it up.
Yeah.
Well, do your own research.
Actually, in the show, you told me it's not literally because we can take you outside and I'll slap you in the. What'd you say? Burn a book or slap you in the face? Which one's going?
Oh, did I call? So I did call you out.
Yeah,
on,
you called me out.
That was during our Quran talk, I think. But to me, it's so God. And I think you know what it is, Trey. And I'm going to get deep with you right here. I think it's all this Bravo that I'm watching. Because
You're watching
these
too much
fucking
Bravo?
people on Bravo, all these shows that my wife we watch, and again, I'm not going to say it's all her fault. It's her fault for introducing it to me.
Literally her fault.
It's my fault for continuing to watch it. But these girls and guys that get on there and they're all in their late 20s and they're just like every other sentence is like, I was literally devastated. Well, okay, you weren't. You were smiling. That's not you. Or I was literally covered head to toe in No, because we'd be able to see that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I'll give props to one of my favorite comedians, Dane Cook. You remember that guy?
Yes, sir.
I saw him not too long ago. He's actually still he's great. I love Dane Cook, and he got a bad whatever. he got
whatever.
He got a bad. People were giving him a hard time for something, but I always liked the guy. And he did a bit about that. And he goes, these girls come up, and I don't know, I made him all the girls, but girls come up and they're like, oh, you don't understand. There was a big, huge fire down the street. There were literally 1,000 firefighters there. And he's like, no, there were not. They were not. There might have been 10 or 20, but not
1,000.
Then my favorite was she woke up. My girlfriend woke up and wow, it literally took like a 500-hour nap. And he's like, no, you've not. That would be a coma.
Yep.
You took a 500-hour coma.
Yeah.
And it's funny, but that's so true to me.
Yeah.
And now I can't get out of my head. Someone will just say it at and it's not literal. It's not.
Yeah. I like it. Now I'm going to start paying attention to that.
You're going to do it.
I'm just going to keep
You're
fucking
gonna
with
keep
you with the
saying
literally.
literal. And I think there's some other ones that are like that too. And you get a little more serious when you talk about some of these words that people use that they don't know the meaning, fascism, things like that. That's a little different. You're using it because you think it means something.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into that. Just don't say literally unless you mean literally.
Got it.
Don't say I'm literally going to die.
Or
unless you fucking fall down and die.
Or irregardless.
Yeah, that's another one. Those we should talk about though. We'll talk about those one show, which are the ones that are just the whole thing's a cluster.
We need to literally talk about that.
Okay. I think even our listeners are like, trash the fuck up.
Yeah.
So that was mine. Mine was pretty basic tonight, but I heard it the other day, and again, it's this Bravo shit.
Stop watching Bravo.
I know, but I can't. Like
it's literally that simple.
Monday Night Football was on the other night. I'm like checking the score on my phone because my fantasy guy and all this stuff, and I'm checking it
Watching
out.
Bravo.
And then all of a sudden you look over and like Kyle is into it with Amanda, and they're making out. But then Kyle goes over to Katie, and who knows what's going to happen now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Katie and Amanda fight, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pillow fights.
So that was mine tonight. But anyway, it feels weird ending the show before like 3 hours
Before midnight?
of World War II World War II information.
I got to be on a call here pretty soon, so I need you to wrap this up. Chris will be calling me to fill
right.
me in on
you have-
WW2 facts.
You have your nightly call coming up. I apologize because I don't want to get caught where he says, well, let's just all zoom in there.
No.
Because then I'm caught.
You're like, yeah, I got to go. Literally.
So it was fun. We'll, all right, everyone, as usual, hit us up, social media, blah, 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 blah. Every little follow and subscription helps.
Absolutely.
Spotify's, like I said, they're looking. That's what they want. YouTube, same thing. So
Help us out.
help us out, and we'll see you on the next one. Love you guys.
Later.
I already know what it's going to be. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I literally used anal cream before I came over here.
God, we know each other way too well. That was exactly what I was going to do. Fuck you.